Christian Science. Origins. In 1866, at 45 years of age, Mary Baker Eddy fell ill. With small chance of living, Eddy asked for the Bible and read the story of Jesus healing the hand of a crippled man. She was miraculously healed. To many disbelief, Eddy was healed by the prayer and religious study of Jesus' healing practices. Determined to understand and spread the truth behind her healed being, she set out for 3 years of writing and studies. This led to her published novel, Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures. In 1979, Eddy founded the First Church of Christ Scientist in Boston, Massachusetts. The devotion of this religion centers around the desire to restore the healing practices of the early Christians. Founders. Mary Baker Eddy was born and raised in New Hampshire. She grew up in a strong religious home and found comfort and belief in the Bible. She often became ill during her childhood years and turned to many different healing practices that did not seem to cure. In her mid-40s, after suffering from serious internal injuries, Eddy turned to the Bible. Her continued studies and prayer ultimately led to the creation of Christian Science. Nature and Deity. Mary Baker Eddy wrote, "Humans are subject to the laws of matter only so long as they believe they are real. Christian scientists believe creation is spiritual and that matter does not exist, meaning sin, sickness, and death do not exist. Until acceptance of God and the non-existence of these matters are realized, we will continue to suffer from them. Those who believe in themselves to be separated from God essentially believe they are only matter, and matter is limited. Christian scientists believe that life is spirit, and therefore everlasting." Morality and afterlife. Christian Science encourages people to see life in a spiritual perspective, as Jesus taught, through healing. Christian scientists believe there is one almighty perfect God, and although Jesus, the Son of God, is divine, he was human, and seen as the man who, more than all other men, has presented Christ, the true idea of God. Unlike most Christians, Mary Baker Eddy denied the belief of the Holy Trinity, explaining that it portrayed polytheism. God is defined as the Trinity of life, truth, and love, and called Father, Mother. Heaven and hell are not believed to be locations, but rather states of mind that we find ourselves depending upon our actions. Heaven is the feeling when God is accepted absolutely into our lives. Hell is the unbalanced life lived when a person finds an erred belief in such feelings as lust, sickness, revenge, or hatred. There is no death, as humans are immortal spirits. After what we call death occurs, spiritual development towards truth continues. Injure no man, but bless all mankind. The Bible and Mary Baker Eddy's novel, Science and Health, are read and followed at every Church of Christ Scientist service. Passages read by members that taught of Jesus' healings are read as basis of the religion's teachings. Practitioners provide the church with spiritual healing and prayer guidance, but are not to be mistaken for church ministers. Christian Science worship is not led by any one leader. The church recalls the Bible as their pastor. This is the doctrine of Christian Science: that divine love cannot be deprived of its manifestation or object, that joy cannot be turned into sorrow, for sorrow is not the master of joy, that good can never produce evil, that matter can never produce mind, nor life result in death. The perfect man, governed by God, his perfect principle, is sinless and eternal. Festivals and calendars. Throughout the year, members attend Wednesday night church meetings, where they gather to share their stories and gratitude of healing. Christian Scientists are the first religion to acknowledge Thanksgiving as a religious holiday. Created to celebrate gratitude of life, services include Thanksgiving Bible lessons, readings from Science and Health, and personal testimonies of gratitude. The celebration of Christ to the world is believed to be too important to be celebrated for just one day, like Christians' Christmas, and is celebrated every day. However, Christian Scientists hold a similar Christmas service in acknowledgement and celebration of Jesus as God's Son. Rituals. God helps us through prayer, similar to the way light dissolves darkness. Mary Baker Eddy. Many Christian Scientists believe that health and prayer are related, and although health care is an individual choice, many do not have active medical health care. Christian Scientists pray about everything first, and find it to be just as effective, or even more so than any other way. The basis of Christian Science revolves around prayer. Because it is believed that matter does not exist, component ritual is not necessary for worship.
Tell my story from where I come from.
Symbols. The symbol of Christian Science appears as a crown passing through a cross and stands for the idea of victory over death and suffering. This symbol resides in many forms and can be found on the Christian Science seal with a passage from the Gospel of Matthew. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. Music, art, architecture. Created in 1894, the First Mother Church still resides at the center of the Christian Science Plaza in Boston, Massachusetts. Reminiscent of Romanesque architectural style, the church seats 900. Mosaics and stained glass fill the inside, telling stories of the Bible. Fountains and gardens fill the plaza grounds, as well as a reflecting pool. Christian Science spiritual hymns fill the atmosphere during services and worships.